That's excellent, and I guess I should mention too that the latest extension of that service is this cookbook, Essence Brings You Great Cooking by Jonell Nash. This book is more than just a cookbook. When we look at this book, we can see that we are talking about the preservation of a way of life through food culture.
Yes.
Expand on that.
Well, we knew again, in the very beginning that it was to be so much more than just a collection of recipes, but we wanted to tell the whole history for the legacy actually of it to be captured and reflected here. So that meant in addition to recipes, there was the history, which pretty much is rooted in West Africa, with those indigenous foods that were brought here by those newly enslaved. And I think that's even part of the fascination that Africans who were stripped of all of their possessions, I mean, the language, the culture, the family units, somehow still maintained the recipes, the foodways, brought seeds with them, okra, black-eyed peas, yams, wild greens, and same foods, that we eat and enjoy today. But, basically, again, rooted in Africa, sort of swept through the Caribbean, where we added, the tropical influences there, and then spread across the southern regions of the United States.
Then you talk about the South American aspect.
Oh, truly, the entire diaspora. And it's really interesting, the Brazilian influences and how, just as sort of a little historical note, but how those who were enslaved and brought from Africa and settled in, say, Bahia, El Salvador, Bahia, were able to preserve their foodways in a style that didn't exist in the United States or in the Caribbean, because they continued their religion, they continued the language, and I understand today that there are practices in Bahia that don't even exist in Africa anymore because of certain modernizations. But